in-depth inquiry is required of students in a project. And by that, we don't just mean looking stuff up on the internet, not just research. It's a way of thinking inquiry that involves asking questions, finding answers to help support your conclusions, finding resources, thinking of new questions as you get deeper in. People often think of inquiry in science experiments or investigations or research papers, maybe in history, but any project can have inquiry. For example, even creating a mural would require inquiry about what's the best location, what material should we use, what's the most appropriate image, or designing a website, who's the client, what do they want, what does a visitor to the site want to see, how can we make it work well for those visitors. There's also an element of innovation in inquiry where students are finding their own answers to questions, their own unique products. They aren't just repackaging information or building something from a kit or following directions. In the video, we saw the students asking in-depth questions about why their classmates were getting sick, how are diseases transmitted, what germs are, and how they affect the human body, and so on. And Mr. Simmons provided some of the answers, but also the students had to dig for some of their own, and they thought of new, deeper questions along the way. A driving question organizes the whole project. It sort of captures the issue or the problem or the challenge for students to address. It sort of frames the project as answering a question, which reinforces that idea of a project being about inquiry. A driving question has three main characteristics. It should be open-ended. There's more than one possible answer. It's understandable to students. It engages them. It doesn't sound like a textbook or a teacher. It sort of inspires them and focuses them. And thirdly, it's linked to what you want students to learn. To answer it, they've got to learn the content and the skills that you want them to learn. In the video, the project, the question was, how can we not get sick? And this driving question focused all the work the students did during the project. Some driving questions can be more philosophical or abstract. For example, the one for this project could have been something like, how can little things have big effects? Or you could have a more specific and very task-focused driving question. For example, this one could have been, how can we create a presentation to tell elementary school students how not to get sick?